Have you thought of investing in Epe, Lagos, Nigeria? Have you thought of buying a property, some plots of land or acres of land in Epe, Lagos, Nigeria? Today we'll be giving out tips which you have to put into consideration before investing in Epe. So before you buy those properties, before you buy those acres of land in Epe, Lagos, Nigeria, I'll be giving out 6 tips which you must ask yourself so you don't fall into problems, so you don't fall into issues after you've bought such properties. I am Realtor Patrick for Real Path Properties, and I welcome you to Real Estate Live on YouTube. And if this is your first time coming through this channel, please do well to like and subscribe to this channel as we continuously drop tips, gists, and also discuss topical issues affecting the real estate industry in Lagos, Nigeria. Across the internet, you've been hearing people shouting, come and key into buying properties in Epe. Buy Epe before it is too late. Yes, buy Epe before it is too late, but you need to ask yourself these 6 questions. So today we'll be discussing investing in Epe. So before you buy those properties in Epe, I'll be giving out 6 questions you need to ask yourself before you buy those properties, and we'll be going deep into this. And the first question you need to ask yourself is the property free? Is the property free? Before you invest into any land, you need to ask yourself if this land is free. Land comes majorly with 2 different status. It is either a committed land, or what some other persons call acquisition land, or a free land. Let me take it one after the other. Now, land that are government acquisitions are committed properties, and no one ever buys such property. Now, when you see properties that are government acquisition or committed properties, it simply means that these properties are being earmarked by the government for development by the government. Probably government feels in future such properties, such land will be used for the betterment of the people, so they've carved out certain parts of a large expanse of land for such activity, for future development. It could be for building hospitals, it could be for building schools, it could be for the expansion of roads, and so on. So properties that are committed are government acquisitions, and no one is expected to buy or build on such properties. If you fall prey to buying such properties, it simply means you are definitely going to lose the ownership of that property. In fact, the property does not belong to you in the first place because they are committed properties. So before buying real estate, you need to take time to do your search, call your surveyor, an experienced and a trustworthy surveyor, to chart the land or the property for you and ascertain if the property is a committed property or a free property. Now, if a property is free, so it simply means you can go ahead to purchase such property because you can also perfect the title of a freehold property. So first and foremost, you must ascertain if your property is free. If it is free in Epe, Lagos, Nigeria, then you can decide to invest and buy such properties. But if it's a committed property, please run away from such investment because you will definitely not own that property in the long run. The next question you'd ask yourself is this property a revoked property? There are so many properties in Lagos, Nigeria whose ownership has been revoked by the Lagos state government. Originally, the properties belonged to a particular group of persons, a particular firm, a particular family. But as we have it, a new government comes into place and revokes the ownership of such properties. Such happens in Lagos, Nigeria. So you must take your time to do your search, do your due diligence before investing in properties in Epe, Lagos, Nigeria. There is a situation whereby a particular land belonging to a particular firm in Epe, Lagos, Nigeria for a very long time, and the emergence of a new government saw the revoking of this particular property from this firm to a new set of people. Okay, the government can just decide, okay, will be revoking these properties from this particular. There might be so many reasons. So many reasons would have caused the revoking of such properties. We cannot give you a perfect answer why properties get revoked in Lagos, Nigeria, but revoking of properties actually happen. So you must ask yourself, is this land a revoked land? So you do not buy the land from the wrong person, from the wrong family, from the wrong firm. Now, the third question you need to ask yourself is the land agric? Traditionally, Epe is widely known to be an agricultural area. That is why when you get to Epe today, you will see so many farms, you will see so many poultries, you will see so many fishing activities going on in Epe. When you go deep into Epe, you will find all these things. Now, traditionally, historically, Epe was marked to be an agricultural area for farming, for fishing, for carrying out agricultural activities. Now, for every property that has the status agric, it simply means that those lands are majorly going to be used for agricultural purposes, and a very large area of Epe has the title agric. Now, if you buy into an agric land, you are supposed to use it for agricultural purposes, but we all know with the developments in Lagos, Nigeria, Lagos is not an agricultural center. Lagos is a commercial hub of Nigeria. So Lagos cannot always remain the agricultural center of Nigeria. So that is why when you look into some other areas in Lagos, Nigeria that traditionally had the status of their land to be agric, such properties, because of the influx of people, because of the migration of people into such areas, such lands have been turned into commercial and also residential areas, and this is very possible through ratification. You could change the status of your land from agric into a commercial or a residential area, and you must do that through ratification. So if you've keyed into if you've bought a property that has a title agric, in normal parlance, in real sense, you are not supposed to build residential or commercial properties on such land. Only agricultural activities like farming, fishing and poultry services are to be done on such properties. But you can also ratify the status of the land and turn it into residential and also commercial properties, but that would take time and that would also require money. You have to sort yourself out. You have to sort yourself out with the government before you do that. So you need to know if your land is agric or not. If you've bought agric land without knowing, no cause for alarm. You could also change the status into residential or commercial through ratification. But if you are here to key into a property in Epe, Lagos, Nigeria, and you would not want to go the stress of ratifying your property, you need to ask questions. You need to determine, you need to know if your land is an agric land or not. Fourth question you would need to ask yourself is the land dry? Now you don't really need to worry about if Epe is dry or swampy. Epe is largely dry, conk dry, rocky dry. So you don't need to disturb yourself if Epe is dry or a wet or a swampy area. But there are also exceptions. There are also areas in Epe that are swampy because the Lagos Lagoon also passes through Epe. So there are some areas in Epe that are swampy. So you need to also ask yourself, is this land dry, before you buy into such properties. Because if you buy a wet land, simply means you expend more money in sand filling your land before you can do any development on it. And when you sand fill, you will still need to do a raft foundation before you build anything on a swampy land. But not to worry, Epe is largely dry, and you still need to do your search before you key into properties, before you buy properties in Ekpe, Lagos, Nigeria. Now, another question you need to ask yourself before you buy properties in Ekpe is, what kind of survey will you get when you are buying a property in Ekpe, Lagos, Nigeria? Now, surveys could be provisional or they could be registered. A registered survey simply tells you that you can carry out the perfection of your title on that particular land. With a registered survey, you can carry out the perfection of your title on the land. With a provisional survey, you cannot do that, except your provisional survey becomes a registered survey, and you can register your provisional survey in the Surveyor General's office in Lagos, Nigeria. I think that is done in Alaro. That's where you find the Surveyor General's office. So you need to perfect your provisional survey to a registered survey before you can perfect the title on your property. And the difference between a provisional survey and registered survey is just that the registered survey has the signature and accent of the Surveyor General, while the provisional survey is just done by your own surveyor. It is prepared by your own surveyor, and it has not been registered in the Surveyor General's office. So those are the two differences between the provisional survey and the registered survey. Now, another question you need to ask yourself before you invest, before you buy a land in Ekpe is, when can you build on your property? You need to ask if the land is a buy and build land. Now, some persons find it difficult to visit the property before they buy such properties. You just go for virtual inspection and your realtor tells you this is the land, it is this, it is this, it is that, it is buy and build. It might be buy and build, it might not be buy and build. Now, if you go into the hinterlands in Ekpe, Lagos, Nigeria and buy a property, do not expect to build on that property yet. In fact, within the next 5 to 10 years, do not expect to build on such properties, because the hinterlands in Ekpe, Lagos, Nigeria are still developing. In fact, they are not yet settlements. People are not yet living in those areas. Areas like Alaro, Abapawa, and the rest. People are not living in such areas now. So if you're going to be buying properties in those areas, it simply means that you are buying for land banking. You are buying for future purpose. You are buying because you can get it at a reduced price, and you know within you that the property is going to increase in value in the next 5 to 10 years. That is why you are buying such properties. So if you are buying in the hinterlands in Ekpe, Lagos, Nigeria, do not expect it to be a buy and build land. So you need to ask your realtor, you need to ask the real estate firm to determine if what you're buying is a buy and build land. I've had clients who contact me buying properties in Ekpe, and you know, generally the prices of property in Ekpe are within the ranges of 500 to 1.5 million naira for Alaro and the hinterlands in Lagos, in Ekpe, Lagos, Nigeria. And they see these properties as cheap and want to buy it, and some of them have the feeling that, wow, they can buy and start building immediately. No, if you're going to be buying properties in those areas, know that you are buying those properties for land banking. You are buying it to keep it. When the development sets into those areas, you can decide to resell or build, wherever choice, wherever pleases you. So there are also areas in Ekpe whereby you can buy and start building immediately. Those are areas very close to development, very close to the Ekpe junction, areas close to the express road where people already are living. Those areas are buy and build. You can buy properties in those areas and start building, but those properties cost more than properties you find inside of Ekpe. I know about 3 properties very close to the Ekpe T junction. Goes for 3 million to about 4.5 million naira, and those ones are buy and build. So you need to ask your realtor if property you have interest in is a buy and build. So you need to determine if you're going to be buying it for land banking or if you want a property for building immediately. the last question I would need you to ask your realtor, or you ask yourself, is the land you'll be buying in Epe, Lagos, Nigeria, is it hilly? Now, Epe does not have a smooth plain. Epe's land is some areas are topography, some is very flat, some is hilly, some is plain, and some is just somehow. So you need to ask yourself if the land is hilly, or if the land is, that is, if the topography is hilly or it is plain. So you need to be sure of that. If you're going to be buying an hilly property, you should know that it could be affected by flood in the future. Because if you're buying a property that is hilly, and let's say the property is hilly and it is coming down this way, and you are buying properties that are down the hill, it simply means that once rain falls, the flood will always go down the hill. You get it? So you need to be very sure you're not buying into properties that will be affected by flood in the future. So with this, I think I've given out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 key points you need to ask yourself before buying properties in Epe. Now, you must ask if it is free or it is committed. You must ask if it is a revoked land. You must ask if it is agric. You must ask if it is dry. You must ask what kind of survey will be given to you on such properties. You must also ask if that land is a buy and build land, and you must also ask if it is hilly or not. So these are the questions you need to ask yourself before you buy into properties in Epe. And lastly, like every other property you're buying anywhere in Lagos, anywhere in Nigeria, you must also determine and know the title of such properties. I will not put that amongst the points you need to know before buying properties in Epe, because this is basic. You need to ask that for every other property, not just in Epe, Lagos, Nigeria. So you must also know the title of your land before you buy it in Epe. A land can be freehold but still has other titles like Gazette, could be Gazette or a C of O. So thank you very much, smart viewers, for staying glued to your screen until the end of our discussion for today. So if you have comments to make, if you have questions to ask, if you also have contributions to also add to what we've discussed today, please do well to use the comment section below, and we'll be glad to give you the reply you need. I am Realtor Patrick for Real Properties. Do well, stay safe, and please keep investing in real estate. If this is your first time coming across this property channel, please like and subscribe to my channel, please, and also spread the good news to your friends and your families. Please, we'll discuss topical issues affecting real estate investments in Lagos, Nigeria. We give eye-opening tips and gist every time we will discuss topics here on Ask Realtor Patrick. Please share the good news, and we'll be glad you did that for us. Thank you very much. Stay safe and peace.